On our bold and slightly ambitious journey to build a complete LinkedIn clone using the same technologies as LinkedIn engineers, we have developed advanced authentication. Connections, real-time notifications and feed. A real-time chat application and more. Before diving into advanced topics like caching, search, OAuth, login with Google, and others, let us take a moment to complete a little bit the profile page that for now look like this. By the end of this video, the profile page will look like this. So we can edit the user information here. We can discard the changes or decide to save it. Like I'm gonna call her, let's say, sorry about that. Let's say I'm gonna call her Lou now. Save. And if I refresh, as you can see, we're seeing Lou here. And also here on the description here, it's saying Lou Clear. Let's say I'm gonna change it to Lou something like McCarthy. Sorry if I'm not writing it the right way. And as you can see, it's changing here as well. And that is the page of the currently logged in user. If I go to another user of the website, that's what I will get, as you can see. So I'm able to see his like her latest post, and I can go and see the others as well if I want. I can come back and I can connect, and I can also like cancel the connection from here. So as you can see, when I'm on a page of a different user, I don't have the edit buttons, while if I am on my own page, I'm able to edit the description, but also the information setup. And since we're not covering a completely new subject in this video, like we did when we covered authentication and also when we covered WebSockets and real-time updates, I'm gonna be quick and I'm gonna simply show you what I did to have the profile page to be like this. Previously, here we simply had a div that said profile. Now I've created this profile page and also this post page. Like this is the page that I'm showing when I click on see more here, for like to see all the posts of the John Doe user that is here. So what are these two pages? I'm gonna be showing them to you. So I'm gonna click here. So as you can see, I have actually created another feature folder that's called profile. So that contains two pages. So it contains the post pages, which is this one, and the profile page, which is this one. The post page is very straightforward. So on the left side, we have the left sidebar component that we built in previous videos. Let me come back here. So which is this one. It's the same component that's here that we built when we built the home page. So coming back, and then here at the right side, let me come here, and at the like in the middle, so yeah, we have the main, and we're grabbing the logged in user from our authentication here. So I'm using the user authentication that we built during the authentication front-end video, and then I'm showing the name, then the first, and I'm saying the user's posts. So in the case of John Doe, it's gonna say John Doe's posts. Then I am grabbing all the posts of this user, making this request. And this request, I'm using this function that we built in previous videos as well, where we're simply using the JavaScript fetch to call our API. So coming back here, I meant here. So we're grabbing the post of this user, and which user we are using. For that, we are using the ID that's here. So as you can see, it's saying profile and then profile 1. If I go to Arnold here, it's gonna say profile number 3, and then if I go to its post page, so it's gonna say profile 3. So we're grabbing the ID of the user that's in the URL, and then I'm making the call. And also here, when this page load, I need to figure out actually which user I'm talking about here. So for that, I'm using this use effect, as you can see, and I'm grabbing the ID like in the URL, and then I'm checking if this ID is the same as the logged in user. So if I am like here, I am John Doe, I'm logged in as John Doe. If I go here, I already know John Doe because when he logged in, we set it in our authentication context, if you remember, guys. So if it is the case, I don't want to make an extra API call, so I'm just gonna use the auth user that's here as the user of the page. And if it's not the case, I'm gonna make the API call to grab the user. So, and then here I'm setting the page title. As you can see here, it's saying LinkedIn, then post, and then John Doe. And I'm using this hook that we also built in previous videos, and it's simply actually doing this. So it's using this effect and then changing the title of the page, appending it to this portion. So as you can see, there is not much. I also have a small loader that I'm using to show a loader if ever the request is quite slow. And yeah, so if I refresh, as you can see, we have the loader that is running like for a brief amount of time. To show you, actually, let me say that I'm gonna disable the set loading false here and here, just to show you the loader. So it's gonna be this loader, and it's the same as the one that we have on the actual LinkedIn project that we built in previous videos, of course. And in terms of CSS, so it is simply like, it's quite simple. I have a grid here on the post here, so on this div, and so I didn't show you actually the mobile view. I'm gonna make it like so, and if I go here like this, so on mobile view everything is top to bottom, and it's a mobile first approach that like we did in previous videos. And when we go on bigger screens, I am setting the page to have 3 columns, like the first one being of size 14 rem, the last to be 20 rem, in the middle one taking all the available remaining width. So as you can see, I don't have much here because all of these components, they are coming from things that we already did in previous videos. So that is for the profile post page. Speaking of the profile page itself, so I'm gonna be showing you the profile page itself. So here I am doing kind of the same thing. I'm setting the profile to be like, as you can see, it's saying LinkedIn/John Doe, using the same hook. And then I have also a similar behavior here, where I check whether the page, like the profile page that I am on, is like the same as the authentication users or not, and then doing the same logic like we did before. And then here, so like on the authentication here, I have this sidebar that is like rendered by this component that we built in previous videos, and it is the same that we have on the profile on this page. So coming back, and then in the main, I have got like this component that I have called header here. Then here I have got this component that I have called about, and then this component I have called it activity. And I'm not covering the experience and the education in this video, so I just added to do. I'm gonna see whether we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna first cover things that are gonna be very like most valuable to you, like the search and the OAuth, like login with Google and the caching, before doing this, because I don't think that this is going to be kind of similar to everything that we did so far. But I didn't want to have a like an empty page on the website. So let me show you the this page, this component. So as you can see, I'm giving it the user, like the actual user, and also the authentication user. like the auth user that's coming from this hook, okay, and the user that we are setting logically here. And then I'm giving the on update. So when there is an update, I want to call the set user that's here. So if I show you here why I'm passing actually the user and also the auth user. So I'm gonna make it smaller. So this component seems quite big, but it's gonna make sense in a bit. So why first thing first, why I'm passing the user and also the auth user? That is to like be able to show these buttons. So if I go on this page, is since the logged in user is not like in his own profile, we don't show the edit buttons, but rather we would show this button. So that is what we use here. So I'm going to show you the markup before explaining the logic above. So the markup, we have the cover, which is this one. So there is no user that has a cover picture for now, so I'm showing the default one. We'll be covering uploading images in upcoming videos. And then I have the avatar, which is being this one. And then I have got the info that are these, like the name, the position in the company, and the location. And if I am on editing, like this editing, I am setting it to true. It's a state actually, which is here. So I am setting it to true when I click on this button. And I actually forgot, let me make it a little bit bigger, because some of you have been telling me that, sorry. And also don't forget to use the right resolution on the YouTube player itself. Like if you have a small screen, use a resolution that's smaller. Like if you are watching like on a 4K but using a smaller screen, it's gonna be hard for you to read as well. But I'm gonna try to remember to zoom in more in all the upcoming videos. So if I am editing the information, if I'm not editing, so I'm showing this component, and if I am editing, I'm showing like the below one, and this below one is actually where I am showing these two buttons. So the first one, it's this. So when I click on it, I am gonna set editing info to false, and then call this set info. Okay, and also here it's this component. When I click on it, I'm simply sorry. So this one is actually this one. So when I click, I am removing all the things that the user has typed here. So we're gonna come back to the user's first name that's saved in the database. So as you can see, that's what I'm doing here. And here, if I click on this, I'm calling the update info function. So this one is calling our this endpoint, like that we built in previous videos. And then when there is a success, we're gonna call the function that we're getting from the profile page, which is being the set user, this one. So am I on the right page? No, I was here, sorry. So yeah, here. Then when there is a success, I'm setting editing to false, and when there is any error, I'm simply for now logging it, and then also removing the things that I have typed in the input here. So this, to like handle things that are typed in the input, I am using this this info state, where I am setting it first to the information that I am like getting from the user that I am displaying here. So that's what I'm doing here. And then when you look like the inputs, like each input, what it does is that it's gonna destructure the object and update the corresponding key of the object. So for the first name, it's gonna be first name, last name, until first, and so on. Everything that you are seeing is being rendered by this div, okay, that's shown when the editing info is set to true. and if the editing info is set to false, I'm going to be showing the informations as you see them here. And below, that is like here, I am displaying this button. So this button is displayed whenever the auth user is the same as the user on the page, and that we are not editing. So it's simply this button. And also here, like I have these informations that you are seeing here, but also I am rendering a connection button that I only show when I am not on my on a different user's page, like I am on this page. Okay, it's this button. But this button, before like this button, I'm gonna be checking if there is a connection first. Okay, and this connection is actually this variable where I am checking within the connections, but also within the invitations, to see if there is a connection or an invitation between these two first. And the connections and the invitation, I am grabbing them from the API that we built in previous videos. So I'm gonna go back here. So if there is not a connection, it's simple. I'm gonna be simply showing this button that is gonna send a connection request. And if it's not the case, so there are two it's one button, sorry. So it's a button where the logic is slightly different. So here, if the connection status is accepted, I'm gonna say remove the connection. If the connection request is not accepted, but the authentication user is the author of the connection, so I'm gonna show cancel. So as you can see here, I'm John Doe, and if I click here, I should be like showing cancel, so that I cancel my invitation request. Otherwise, if I am like Arnold, I'm gonna say in your invitation. Actually, I just realized that I should have added actually another button for also being able to accept. Actually here I can only cancel or ignore, but since we are handling the acceptations here, we are okay. Or maybe I'm gonna be adding it in the background later on or in upcoming videos, this button. So let us come back to the profile. So these are the buttons that you are seeing here. So I'm gonna close this. So actually that's it for this component that you are seeing here, and the styling is also quite simple. You're gonna be finding it in the GitHub in the commit that's gonna be just after this one. So I'm gonna be showing you if you want to find it. So it's going to be the commit number 12 if you want to check it later. So coming back to the profile page, we have the about component, which is this one. So it's kind of the same to show this button. It's the same logic as for this one. If you want, you're gonna be able to check it later on. And then we have the activity here to show you what the activity does. Is simply it's gonna grab the post of the user and then like show the last one. Okay, so I'm gonna be showing just only the last one. And then if I click on the see more link, I'm gonna go into the post page and show the others. And also I am showing slightly different messages. So if I am the authenticated user, like if I'm John Doe and I don't have any page, I'm gonna say you have no post yet. And if otherwise, I'm gonna say this user has no post yet. Okay, so that's it for the front-end side. If you're gonna go deeper, as I said, you're gonna be finding it in the commit number 12. Let me show you a little bit what has changed in the backend now. There is not much that has changed on the backend side. So in previous videos, we already have all these fields on our user model, but I have added the about, okay, and also the cover picture that we didn't have before. I've also updated our the endpoint that we created for updating user profile. So I've added the new two fields here, and I added them also below down here. So if you remember, where we want the user to send us one or the other of these fields. So this is why we have all these checks. Also in the connections, so in the networking here controller, I have updated actually the endpoint for getting the connections. So before we only had before we were simply returning this. Okay, we are simply returning the connections of the authentication user only. But now that we have the profile page, so actually why we need these connections, so we are showing them here actually to show the number of its connection. So before we only had a way to grab the connection of the authentication user, but now if I go here, okay, and then let's say here, I'm showing this component. So these are the connections of this user, and that for that I have updated this endpoint so that I'm able to grab a request param that's going to be a user ID. So if I have this request param, it means that I am requiring the connections of another user, not the connected one. So then I have this one. So it's the same like component method, but with different let's say parameters. So if I show you, so this one was the one that we had before, and this one the one that I just added. So I'm gonna try to grab the user from the database, and if it doesn't exist, throw the error, and then I'm gonna calling the same thing. So I could have did something so that I don't repeat these two lines, but let's say let's say it's not that bad. We can keep it. So guys, that's it for this video. Since we are not covering something that's very new to us, like authentication or real-time updates with WebSockets that we did in previous video, I thought that I shouldn't be wasting your time, guys, watching me type all of this. So in upcoming videos, there are a lot that we still have to cover, like how to add a search, like a real search that's able to search across users and also across posts. Also being able to upload images, so being able to update the profile user, the cover image, but also when posting a post, so that we don't have to give a URL actually, but upload an image. And also we'll be working on OAuth, so the login with Google button. So thank you so much, guys. If you are enjoying this playlist, please share it with your friends who are also maybe interested in these topics. Like it so that I'm aware. Leave a comment to share anything that I should improve, and subscribe to help me reach more people. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one very soon.